Hey there, welcome back. I hope everybody's doing good out there today. Real quick, at the beginning of this video, I'm going to let you know I've seen, I started to record this reaction a little less than halfway through. My computer crapped out. I don't know what happened. When I got back in, the file was corrupted. There was nothing to salvage. So I have seen the first little bit of this video. I just want to put that out there at the beginning. This is going to be a patron shout out request for Bruno. Bruno is an absolute badass. He is my original patron. He's been with me since almost the beginning of my YouTube channel. The support Bruno has given me is unbelievable. Thank you, Bruno. I can't thank you enough. You have done some amazing things for my channel, and I really appreciate it. Today he has me watching my second of the Ohrenji Band-Maid documentaries. I'm going to be watching the documentary on Akane. I'm excited for this. I love Akane so much. I love her attitude. Her personality is just so amazing. I love how much she smiles and I love how she plays. So I'm excited for this. Bruno also asked me to shout out Roger Chance. Roger is a huge Maniac. He loves this band, and he does an amazing amount of work spreading the word of Band-Maid. So thank you so much for all you do, Roger. But I did want to talk about the actual documentary. Ohrenji, the quality of these documentaries that he does is insane. These are professional quality, like big studio quality documentaries. So the work he puts in is incredible. Like I said, go get the video link will be down in the description. Go to his channel, subscribe to him, watch his videos, see how impressive these are. I'm sure if you're watching my reaction, you've probably already watched it before, but if you haven't, or if you haven't subscribed to him, give him all the support in the world, because he does amazing work. But I'm excited for this. Like I said, I've seen the beginning of this already. I apologize so much. When my computer started doing weird stuff, I freaked out a little bit. There may have been some curse words thrown pretty harshly, but I want to do this. I was excited for what was going on. I was probably 10 minutes into this, almost half. So I'll try to point out kind of where I get to stuff that I haven't seen before. But I'm excited to get back into this. So here we go. Bruno, thank you. You're a badass. So let me switch on. Oh, I already switched over. Gosh, my brain. Everything seems to have gone wrong this evening. So let's try this again. So here is the Band-Maid documentary from Ohrenji for Akane.
What the hell is this?
She's a DJ.
That was way too loud. Sorry about that. All right. Who is the next one? Let's see here. Oh. But she was the one. Wait. She's also a DJ? Really?
She can do anything.
Okay, then. Let's talk about Akane. Akane was born on December 14th in Hyogo, a prefecture very close to Osaka. She lived with her mother, her stepfather, and for a short period of time, with her stepbrother, who is 11 years older. During her youngest years, Akane was very unsociable and the one to do whatever she wanted, like leaving kindergarten to go home or not participating in games and activities with the other kids. She was, as she likes to say while laughing, a real problem child. Note that in Japan, children go to school and come back home on their own very early, sometimes at 3 or 4. Over the years, she became more and more friendly and discovered that talking to other people Wasn't that bad after all. During her school years, she loved
Tanya.
home economics and art, but hated studying. She was also bad at physical activities. Who would have thought? Being a huge fan of manga, Akane was easily influenced by The Prince of Tennis or Slam Dunk to try different sports, but soon realized that her motivation was gone pretty quickly. She's the kind of person who wants to try everything that could interest her, but nothing lasted very long, except one thing. And this is something that we've seen in Saiki and Konami's childhood. Akane has loved music since she was very little. For her, it started with piano in kindergarten and lasted a few years before she stopped because the joy wasn't there anymore. Although she can still play some songs on the piano, even today.
It's beautiful too.
She continued for 5 years with trombone, but it wasn't something she saw herself pursuing. At the end of her
Not many
trombonist career,
professional
she realized that a
trombones.
lot of her friends joined bands, so she went to a lot of live performances and music festivals with them. That's how the idea of being in a band started to grow in Akane's head. So she joined the K-On! Club to form a band. To get an idea of what it was like, you can watch the anime K-On! Akane started with the guitar, but soon realized that her hands were too small to play, and it was impossible for her to continue. The bass was off the table too, as you can imagine, and she's no singer, at least according to her, so what's left? Yes, drums. And once Akane tried a drum kit, she felt that that was it.
It was natural. It came natural.
While learning drums, she started to listen to rock bands like El Garden and Bump of Chicken
Bump
to
of
end
Chicken,
up making
that's very
covers of their
interesting.
songs. She also learned about the band Maximum the Hormone and their female drummer, Now.
Now, I'm repeating. I feel like I'm repeating myself, although you haven't heard it. Now has inspired so many amazing drummers in a ton of bands that I listen to, that you guys have gotten me into on my channel, and it's so impressive how iconic Now is for all these female drummers, and it's great. I love it. I love what she's done. And as I realized when this part came up, I haven't done a Maximum the Hormone video in a while. So expect a Maximum the Hormone in the next few days, because, yeah, I need to get back to those guys. They are unbelievably good. But I just wanted to stop and mention how appreciative I am of Now because of how many amazing drummers she's inspired.
Maximum the Hormone and their female drummer, Now. Akane was stunned to discover that the drummer of this hard-rockin' band was not a man. This was the kind of drummer she wanted to become, so she kept this picture of a strong female drummer in her mind as a role model. It was, and still is, important to Akane to have an impact on anyone who thinks that a female drummer can only play soft and not hard. With this image in mind, she practiced every week at her school, the only place that had a drum kit available, as she didn't own one. The other problem was that she was alone in her club, so she could only practice by herself. By the end of her second year, she wanted to do a graduation live performance, so she gathered some of her friends from her old symphonic band days and performed a copy of the group Pez. a Japanese instrumental band consisting of a trumpet, a saxophone, a double bass, a keyboard vocalist, and of course, drums. You might be surprised to learn that Akane wanted to work as a hairdresser after graduation. But as she started drums and was 100% committed to improve her playing skills, she completely changed her mind and instead wanted to enroll in a music school. Against the will of her teacher, but with the support of her parents, Akane went to the Tokyo School of Music for 2 years to follow her passion. She was surrounded by talented musicians who wanted to become professional. Even though she was just a beginner in her class, she worked very hard and played every day to catch up with the other students. It was during those years that she joined a band who did a combined live show with another band featuring the one and only Kanami. She immediately acknowledged how good Kanami was with the guitar and wanted to know more about her. It turned out that they lived very close from each other, so they quickly became friends. Kanami used to ask Akane to play drums on her demos before sending them to record companies. Unfortunately, Akane's band didn't stay together very long, and she was back to square one. But Akane was resourceful, so she started a part-time job as a waitress in a music restaurant in Yokohama. She could watch live performances and sometimes have a sit behind the kit to play when the restaurant closed for the day. She told the manager that she plays drums, so he asked if she could play right now. And she did. Akane played Highway Star from Deep Purple.
Little Deep Purple's
and the
always
manager
appropriate.
agreed to let her play. He even offered to train her. From that moment, Akane trained every day to improve her skills and become a better drummer. We are now in 2013, and Band-Maid is actively looking for 3 female musicians to join a rock band while wearing maid outfits. I say 3 because at this time, they weren't searching for a lead vocalist yet. Our little pigeon already recruited Kanami, so the band was looking for a drummer and a bassist. As you can imagine, Kanami talked to Akane about this opportunity. She trusted her with her demos, so why shouldn't she? At first, Kanami mentioned the label and Akane was excited, until Kanami revealed that they are recruiting for an all-girls band. In case you wonder, she hadn't even mentioned the part where they would all have to be dressed in maid outfits. Akane had too many bad experiences from all-girl bands, so she wasn't really thrilled about this idea. But the restaurant she was working at was about to close for good, so she took some time to think about it and finally decided to join Kanami. What about the maid outfit, you would ask? Well, she was reluctant at first, but how do you know that it's bad without even trying? After all, if Kanami is already there, it'll be okay, right? So she was willing to give it a try anyway. Kanami sent her some demos, and Akane found the music really cool right away. And the image of an all-girls band dressed like maids playing this kind of music was really interesting for her. She felt that her reluctance against all-girl bands and maid outfits was fading away as her motivation kept growing.
And we're so happy
Just
for
a
it.
few...
I saw this part, so I think I'm getting close to where my computer broke. No, not broke permanently. I was able to get it back up and running. It's fine now. I don't know what happened. I'm so happy she got over that. And I'm gonna be honest. One of the reasons why I knew about Band-Maid before I heard about them, but I'd seen pictures. I'm like, and I thought it was a gimmick. I thought it was a little gimmicky. But I would hear other reactors talk about them in such glowing light, and then you guys requested I do one, I think, and it blew me away. My first Band-Maid reaction, I think, was Thrill. I'm pretty sure I went to their page and just picked their very first song, and it blew me away. And my reservations about, or my thoughts on the maid outfits being a gimmick faded, instantly. I fell in love with this band from that first video. They were amazing. So I'm so happy she's not a hairdresser. But it's so good. She's so
Fading
good.
away as her motivation kept growing. Just a few months later, a 5-members acoustic band was created under the name Mochi to Cheese. What's the link with Akane, you could ask? Well, Akane and Konami were both part of this side band with 3 members from the band Predia, an idol group formed in 2010 under the same agency as Band-Maid, Platinum Passport. They started to perform in the streets with acoustic covers and even performed live a few times over the 2 years of activity. The band also covered Forward, a song from Band-Maid. A single was released in September 2015, but only 2 months later, they sent their last tweet and posted their last entry in their blog. After that, we did not hear from Mochi to Cheese again. Their YouTube channel is still available, so you can at least watch a fraction of their performances.
It's a pretty song. I mean, it's Band-Maid, but it's...
モスチーズでした。バイバイ。
Let's get back to Band-Maid. With all those years of practice, Akane had a solid base of drumming to bring to the band, but she didn't have a lot of practice with the twin pedals on high-paced songs. She did buy one when she was in high school, but she gave up pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think that's about where it crashed. He had just started talking about the double pedal. So from here out, I haven't seen it yet. I love all these pictures of her with the different drums and stuff. She's always so cute. I love her so much.
Quickly, only to come back on it later and work as much as she could to try and master it. With Band-Maid, Akane had to use twin pedals for the first time with Thrill. A painful first experience for her, but the feedback was incredible, so the band members wanted to add more twin pedals in the next songs over the years. This is something that Akane wanted to do as well, but remember that from 2016, the songs are written by Konami, and Konami loves fast-paced rhythm.
速いのは一番速い BPM。
I think
Oh,
it's
that's-
225.
Jesus Christ,
お
it's so fast.
次には225ない
ない
ね。
200
じゃあ次225を目指します。
Usually,
That is fast.
Konami songs are based at about 170 beats per minute, but Akane struggled to play the twin pedals over 130 beats per minute because of her lack of solid practice on twin pedaling. But she wouldn't be defeated that easily. Band-Maid is a hard rock band. They needed to be hard on their music, and Akane had to be able to play faster. So what do you think she did? She thought about how she moves her legs and found ways to improve her movements to be able to play faster. And what's the best way to do it? Practice, practice, practice. Muscle memory. Akane tried to move her legs every time and everywhere she could as if she was playing the twin pedals, so her legs remembered those movements. She was also pushed by Konami, who kept including a lot of twin pedals in her songs. A challenge that Akane couldn't refuse to face, as she is not the type to admit that she can't keep up with a song. After a lot of work and thinking about her playstyle, Akane is now able to use twin pedals anytime, in any song.
Of course she is. I love the thought of Konami knowing Akane well enough and knowing what kind of personality she has, that she'll do anything. She'll work her ass off to succeed, and just kind of egging her on just a little bit, little bit, little bit. It's like, oh, you're having trouble keeping up? Well, here's an even faster song. Come on, let's work it. And it just, I love that thought that Konami, quietly was bumping up the speed of each song, knowing that Akane could accomplish it, but basically forcing her to that challenge. And it's just, Akane is such a great drummer. She's a great drummer. She is so good.
And thinking about her playstyle, Akane is now able to use twin pedals anytime, in any song. Did you know that Band-Maid performed with a man once? No? Do you want to know more about this story? Of course you do. It was in 2015, on December 4th to be exact, at the Shinjuku club Science, that Akane was replaced by a male drummer for a performance. Why, you might ask? Akane mentioned in an interview around that time that she just had an injury and she needed time to rest and heal. Don't worry, it wasn't a life or death situation, as Akane came to this performance disguised as a staff member to support her bandmates. She tweeted 2 months later with a photo of her holding a lot of drumsticks with messages written from fans from
sweet.
all over the world.
That's amazing.
Band-Maid has the best community of fans. Am I right? Now, I'm sure that many of you maniacs know that Akane likes to eat. A lot.
Who doesn't?
She can eat 120 bowls of soba when on average, a man eats 70 bowls and a woman 50. Or even 30 plates at a kaiten sushi, a restaurant where plates of sushi are placed on a conveyor belt that winds through the restaurant and moves past every table, counter, and seat. And believe me when I tell you that 30 is a lot. She loves eating food so much that you can see her eating in a lot of the music videos over the years. I'll bet she really enjoyed filming them.
Oh, I even mentioned that. I remember this video specifically. I mentioned that she was eating while all the other girls are posing really nice, and she's sitting there eating. There's nothing wrong with eating. It's okay, as somebody who eats a little more than I should. I love to eat. Don't judge me. Don't judge her. Drumming takes a lot of energy. You need a lot of calories. But yeah, it's funny because I very, very specifically remember mentioning in a video that she's sitting there eating while everybody else is sitting there looking super pretty and stuff. Not that she's not pretty when she eats, she is, but and y'all told me that she's in any video that has food in it, she's going to be eating the food. And I find that hilarious because I also enjoy a little bit of food or a lot of food.
In a lot of the music videos over the years. I'll bet she really enjoyed filming those. Akane was invited for a few episodes of Band-Maid Nippon, and they played a game where Miku and Saiki had to guess her favorite food outside of Japan.
ご飯
ご飯
何米ってこと
ご飯
米ピザ
どう
いうこと主食も
主食っていうの
メインのもの
メインの
こってりじゃないでしょきっと
こってりじゃないね
パエリア
パエリアです
ね勘で言ったら当たったし
あどうなの
At the creation of Band-Maid, Akane was designated as the leader as she appeared to be the most responsible. But now, every member has a different role equally important, and having a leader was just not relevant anymore. Akane is also famously known for goofing around every chance she gets.
She has a good voice. Oh, never mind. She was lip syncing really well. There, that long note definitely it made me question because of the it definitely sounded like Psyche. But at first, she fooled me. I honestly was thinking, earlier in the doc, she said that, or it was said that she claims she can't sing, and then when I first started hearing it, I'm like, she can sing really nice, but you know, that long note right there, that's obviously Psyche.
Even during live performances. And she's not the only one, as the other band members try to make her laugh by pulling faces. Sometimes it gives us some very special moments to watch.
Okay, so that's what they're doing during Domination. For some reason, I was getting a ton of reactors in my feed reacting to Domination. I've reacted to it also. And everybody mentions how during there's a part where everybody but Psyche gets up on the drum riser, but I didn't know what was going on. So they were literally trying to break Akane. That's hilarious.
And sometimes it just works too well. Band-Maid is really putting on a show when it comes to live performances, because these 5 hard rockin'
They're
maids are
incredible
really
live.
enjoying themselves, don't you think? All right, it's time to talk about Akane's drum style. But let's keep it simple, shall we? And as I didn't become a musician since our last video on Konami, I will let today's special guests talk to you about this very interesting subject. I don't know about you, but I can't wait to hear what they have to say about Akane. Let's go.
Band-Maid is a group of individuals that are just such heavy hitters on their instruments. When they come together, the overall sound of the ensemble is amazing. The rhythms, the harmonies, the quality of the vocals, the songwriting, the skill sets of how everything is woven together is a very amazing listening experience. I've only seen the videos, but from moment one, it had me hooked. Now, Akane's drumming is, when you see someone that is so fluid and relaxed and they're playing at such a high velocity and the demand is so great, the level of respect is top. It is top for me. So she has a way of laying back in the groove and just flowing so well, but a lot of the times these tempos are burning, like they're going fast, but she has this thing where it's like effortless mastery. She lays back, there's all these augmentations and interactions within the orchestration of the song with everybody else. Like there's always these complicated things happening, but when you watch her play, the legato, like it's smooth. It's like you don't really notice how difficult everything is. And for me, that's the major selling point, because anytime something seems like smooth and easy, it's not. It's because the person is so good. They've put in so many thousands of hours on their instrument, and their ability to have all that ensemble listening go on allows them to be that effortless mastery that I just brought up. I will never get tired of watching Akane play. I mean, to be just completely honest, it's inspirational, and it just makes me want to be a better musician.
Akane is a very impressive musician. For many reasons, one of them is her constant evolving. It's almost a rule among musicians to get to a certain level and then stop because that's good enough. But there's no such thing as good enough for Akane. She's constantly getting better, not only in her skills as a player,
that picture
but
of Akane
also
right there,
as a writer.
the artwork.
There's not a single dull moment in her
And
writing.
Miku
There's
on
always
Baby
something
Grogu.
different and interesting and creative happening. Her creativity has no limits. She almost never repeats herself. That thing where the second verse is completely different from the first, but you can still tell it's the same thing. It represents the same thing. That's very impressive writing. Akane is a drummer's drummer, but she's also everybody's drummer. What I mean by that is, to someone who's not familiar with the drums, she sounds very impressive, she is, but it's not impenetrable, it's not tedious or self-serving. She's always serving the music. You can always groove to it. But when you do know what she's doing, your mind goes blank for a second, because she can write these incredibly intricate parts that are also beautiful. Recent example of that is in Influencer, the transition that goes from first chorus to the second verse, and that whole part afterwards with the cross sticks and everything. I think they call it the A melody. There's so much happening there. It's so fast. It's so different. And not different from the first verse, different from everything I ever heard from her. There's more music in those, 15 seconds than in 99.99% of all music I ever recorded. And you can still dance to it. Then you see her playing live. Doesn't even look like she's doing anything that hard. She doesn't call attention to herself. She just smiles and plays impossible. She hits very, very, very hard with so little effort. She's so fast. She's so precise.
Hitting, I've said that before. I love her power. She hits so hard that I've even mentioned in my reactions to a lot of their acoustic stuff that she's working super hard to play soft. It's almost, to me, it almost takes her more effort to play soft than it does to just bang out hard, loud, and badass. So watching her in those acoustic, there was that Christmas acoustic where they were like, 2 or 3 of them at a time playing, and there were some of those songs where you could look, if you were watching her, you could see how much effort she's putting into holding herself back. So I agree 100% with that she hits very hard but with very little effort, and then when she has to go soft, that's when it almost takes more effort.
But she's also expressive. There's feeling in her playing, and that's what music is, or should be, is taking your instrument and amplifying your emotions.
100% agree with that.
Akane does that. She hits very hard with incredible speed and precision, but she's also putting herself, her feeling into her music. She's joy, she's happiness, fun to be around.
She smiles. I love how much she smiles.
And her playing is also like that. Her drumming, her music is joyous, is happy, is pleasurable and surprising, and connects the song. And she's constantly getting better at it. And that's very impressive.
Where do I even begin with Akane? Oh, I've tried covering her drums so many times, never really got them right because they're so complex. She's definitely the hardest drummer I've ever tried to cover. The skills required alone are insane, but it's not only the skill, it also requires an insane amount of memory skills because she's constantly changing up her drum patterns, keeping things fresh. It never gets stagnant, but it's so hard to remember all the different little changes she makes. And somehow she's still able to smile through all of it while she's playing. She plays with so much power, so much energy, and perfectly complements all the other instruments around her. You can tell from what she's playing that she listens to her fellow bandmates and does what she can to accentuate their parts instead of just playing underneath them or playing over them. She gives the song exactly what it needs. Such a well-rounded drummer. Okay, I'll shut up now.
Once again, I've been telling you the story of someone who has been in love with music since forever and tried many instruments until she found the one that was perfect for her. Drums.
Born to play the drums.
Even though she was alone in her club during high school, without a drum kit to practice on at home, Akane did her best to learn the basics by herself and was able to join a music school and pursue her goal of becoming a professional musician. From a child who wanted to try everything but couldn't find the motivation to keep at it, to a truly passionate musician, Akane kept doing her best to live for and from music. Working at a music restaurant to end up playing drums there, joining Band-Maid with Konami and within this already incredible band, learning and evolving towards this image of a strong hard rock female drummer she always wanted to be associated with. Akane wanted to prove that gender has nothing to do with her drumming and how hard Band-Maid's music is, and we can all agree that she does this every time she hits her drums. No matter how difficult it was, no matter how many obstacles she faced, Akane destroyed everything in her way so she could achieve what makes her special as a person and a drummer.
Stay with me. You carry like that moment. I never change. That love is beautiful.
So good. Every time, it's going to end with that song every time. And it's going to get me every time. Wow. So good. Definitely support him. Definitely support him. Very, very, very cool. This was a patron shout out request for Bruno. The Ohrenji documentary on Akane. Fabulous documentary. This, like I said, the documentary is just so professionally done, so impressive. Just the right tweaks to get you emotionally. There at the end again, like I said, I think I'm almost positive he's going to end with that song every time, and I get that live version of that song just gets me every single time I hear it. Akane is amazing. She's an amazing musician. She was born to do this. She was... It's just... I love watching her drum. I love seeing what she's doing. I love the smile on her face when she's doing it. She is unbelievable. I love this band. They are so good. There's nothing bad or even average in any of their music, and the things that Akane brings to that band is just amazing. Bruno, thank you so much for having me watch this. I'm going to anxiously wait to get to watch the next one. I can't wait. I love it. I love these videos. I love these documentaries. Ohrenji, again, an amazing job. Everybody needs to go to Ohrenji's channel, subscribe, support him. He's doing amazing work over there. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, give it a like, comment, subscribe, and notification bell. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it, and I will talk to you next time.